Hello, welcome to Dundrell's podcast. I'm your host, Justin. So, I finally got around to watching Thor Ragnarok, which is, what year did this come out? 2017 superhero film. It's 2 hours and 10 minutes, directed by Taika Waititi, with music by Mark Mothersbaugh, which is movies written by, Eric something, and then like the Craig Yost and Chris. No, is it Chris Yost and Craig? The guys who wrote Wolverine and the X-Men, and one of them went and did that terrible Cowboy Bebop movie. So I was going to, under the recommendation, which it was more like he bullied me into watching a Bittersweet Life, which is a South Korean gangster film, not only Hollywood. I tried to watch it, but the movie is. I don't know, man. The movie, I got 30 minutes in, and I just thought, fuck this movie. I just find the whole premise of like gangster falling in love with his boss's girlfriend fucking dumb, in my opinion. And there's like a point in the movie where he's like in charge of like watching her while the boss is away to make sure she doesn't cheat on him. And if she cheats on him, she's supposed to he's supposed to kill her and the boyfriend, right? And he catches him red-handed, and the guy's like, you know what? I'll forget this ever happened. Just don't see each other anymore. And she gets pissed off at him. It's like, you bitch, you were dating a fucking mob boss, and you thought you could cheat on him like, I don't know. Like, the movie was like, oh, she's a nice girl. Like, nice girls don't fucking date mob bosses. Nice girls in general, in my opinion, don't have fucking sugar daddies, in my opinion, but I don't know. So instead of finishing watching Bittersweet Life, maybe when I'm more in the mood for watching South Korean movies, I'll finish it. But yeah, I decided to watch Thor Ragnarok instead, which I was supposed to watch this movie like 2 weeks ago, but we finally got around to it. Which the movie stars Chris Hemsworth as Thor, Taika Waititi as Korg, who's not a lot of scenes. Cate Blanchett as Hela, Tessa Thompson as Valkyrie, Jeff Goldblum as Grandmaster, and Mark Ruffalo as Hulk. A lot of the old casts of four cast members is in this film, like Ray Stevenson as Volstagg. You have Tadanobu Asano as Hogan. Zach Braff is back as Fandral. Jamie Alexander, I don't know where the fuck she went during this movie, right? So, for people who haven't seen this film, this is going to be a spoiler review. So, if you haven't seen the film, time to leave, okay? Yeah, so what happens in the film, right, which the movie starts off very random. I almost thought, oh, great, did I miss Did I miss a movie in between this one? Because the movie starts off with Thor imprisoned by Surt, who they call Surte in the movie, which it's pretty sure it's just Surt, who is this giant flaming demon monster that Odin fought several times in the comics, right? Which Surt is actually a pretty cool character, and they kind of make a joke of him in the opening scene, where Thor just beats the shit out of him and kills him, takes his skull back to Asgard, right? Where they info dump, hey, if his skull, the Surt skull, goes into the eternal flame, which is on Asgard, Surt will turn into a giant flaming giant and will destroy Asgard, causing Ragnarok. Which I read the Ragnarok graphic novel, which it was decent, but yeah, it was pretty much it was pretty much basically like they just needed an excuse for Thor not to be around during Civil War, because if Thor was around during Marvel's Civil War, he would have fucking beat the shit out of Iron Man, which he did when he came back in JMS's run of Thor, which we need to review that at some point. I have the first volume of the graphic novel. If I don't end up getting another Thor book by next month in time for the new Thor movie, I'll review that one. So yeah. So what happens? Thor realizes right away that Odin is actually Loki in disguise. Which there's like a jokey kind of cringe scene, but it was kind of funny, where Odin is like Loki masquerading as Odin is eating grapes while watching a play of how like Loki heroically sacrificed himself, and Loki is played by fucking Matt Damon, which I saw that and I thought that was a Jimmy Kimmel sketch. I had no idea that was from this fucking movie. Right? And like you get to see like Chris Hemsworth, one of Chris Hemsworth's brothers, unsuccessful brothers, play Thor. Right? You also Sam Neill from the Jurassic Park films and the In the Mouth of Madness, the John Carpenter film, plays Odin in that scene, which that was pretty cool, right? And yeah, so like afterwards, like Thor figures out, okay, that's fucking Loki playing a trick. Finds out that Loki kidnapped Odin, stripped him of his powers off screen somehow, and dumped him in an old retirement home on Earth. The retirement home was destroyed, and so you get like this cameo scene with Doctor Strange, where Thor meets Doctor Strange. Thor meets Doctor Strange. He leads him to Odin. Odin is in Norway. Tells him, "Hey, I'm dying. P.S. You have a sister called Hela who is batshit insane, and when I die, she'll be able to free herself, and she's going to take over Asgard," which she does, and she beats the shit out of Thor and Loki, who try to Rainbow Bridge themselves away. Which in previous movies they show the Rainbow Bridge is like instant. Here you see them transported through the Rainbow Bridge, which was a cool special effect, and they end up getting lost and end up on this planet where Thor gets captured by a former Valkyrie played by Tessa Thompson, who looks nothing like she does in the comics. Ugh. Right, and she captures him and sells him to the Grandmaster played by Jeff Goldblum, who runs this planet, and he sets up this gladiator games. While that's going on, Hela takes over Asgard, kills all of the warrior free. She wants shots like Volstagg and Vendrell, right? But like you got to see a badass scene where Hogan leads the rest of the Asgardian army against Hela, but he gets killed also. And they finally have the executioner in the movie, played by Karl Urban, who took over Heimdall's job, right? And who took over Heimdall's job. He was using it to steal shit from like other planets, including two like machine M6 machine guns from Earth, right? Which he said he got from Texas, right? Which there's like a little like story, character arc with him where he becomes this lackey of Hela and becomes her executioner. You never see him kill anybody. And at the end of the movie, he redeems himself in a pretty badass scene, which is nice to see Karl Urban, like you know, um, like he played like this jokey character, but he kind of redeemed himself at the end. So yeah, the movie, most of the movie is Thor on the Sakar, or whatever the planet is called, trying to escape. He meets Hulk. They're able. Hulk also, Loki is there. They have it. They escape. They end up on. They end up on Asgard. They have this final battle where they have no choice but to destroy Asgard so they can cut off Hela from her power and release Surt, right? And the Asgardians leave for space, right? And that's how the movie ends. So, what did I think about the movie? Also, there's a cameo with Stan Lee, which was pretty cool. One, the reason why I didn't watch this movie when it first came out. One, I didn't watch Dark World because I heard that movie sucked. 3, I didn't watch this movie because I was really pissed off, not just because of what they did to Valkyrie, but because they ripped off Planet Hulk, which was one of my favorite Hulk stories I've ever read. And they even took Korg and Meek from Planet Hulk and put them in this movie, and then their bit roles. Korg is basically just the comedic relief in the fucking film, voiced by Taika Waititi, right? And those scenes are funny, and the movie's pretty funny. My problem is they basically was like, oh, let's just do Guardians of the Galaxy with Thor, right? And yes, it was a good movie, and it is probably this is probably the best out of the 4 movies. But it's like, dude, like what the fuck? What the fuck? You ruined Ragnarok storyline, and you ruined Planet Hulk, and you combine them together and made this jokey space adventure movie. And it was a good space adventure comedy film, right? The music was great, lots of bright comic book colors. The characters, the set designs, the costume designs were all great. I'm thinking of maybe I started getting into HeroClix, and there's some really cool HeroClix of this fucking movie I might get, but they fucking ruined the fucking characters, man. They fucking made a joke out of every fucking buddy, man. Though there were some awesome epic scenes, where you got to see Thor lost Mjolnir during his first fight with Hela, and he finds out that the lightning powers, his thunder powers, were inside him all along. So you see him fight a bunch of guys while punching, kicking, using the lightning powers, and it was very much reminded me of Raiden from Mortal Kombat, the way he was fighting. He even does a thing where he spins and launches in the air, and it's kind of like a move that Raiden does from the games, which was pretty cool. But it's dude, it just shows they have no fucking. That Eric July is right. They don't give a fuck about the comics, man. They just pick whatever they want and just throw it in there. It's fucking disgraceful. But as a movie, it was a good, solid movie, and I would give it a 7 out of 10. But boy, holy fuck, dude. It's just dude, They don't give a shit about adapting anything from the comic books. And this is the closest we ever got to a Hulk movie. Because Hulk has a lot of screen time in this movie, and he's the dumb Hulk too. And he was great in the movie, right? Though I'm not a huge fan of Mark Ruffalo as Bruce Banner. It was still his portrayal was good, and what they did with him was great. It's kind of funny how they had this he had this friendship. Hulk had this friendship with Valkyrie, and it kind of reminded me was is that are they playing with the the fact that they were both on the Defenders together, right? Which was another superhero team. That's the problem I have with fucking Marvel comics, is that you have all these different superhero teams, and it's just they just take everybody from from like all their different teams is put in everything, man. It's like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, because Defenders is basically like B team like Avengers, which kind of sucks because they were pretty cool. The Defenders is pretty cool, but it's like their roster is just like, yeah, we'll just put everybody from fucking who's not currently on the Avengers. We just put them in the Defenders, but we'll throw in a couple magical people to mix it up, right? Like Damon Hellstrom and fucking fuck, I can't think of anybody else. Or Patty, who's not even like good enough for the Avengers. Oh my god. But yeah, the movie is a good, solid film. 7 out of 10. Probably the best Thor movie. But as like adaptation from the comics, it's not great. But I did like that you could see a lot of Jack Kirby and like Jack Kirby esque like design decisions with the set and like character designs and everything, right? Because like the soldiers on Sakaar or whatever all look like mini like Celestials with their helmets and shit, which I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, so that's it for this movie review, guys. We're probably going to review Avengers Infinity War next. Alright, guys, peace.